So with that, let me introduce Andrea Loud, the president of InSoFast, and Dean Siebert, who is the creative director of InSoFast. So, hey guys, how are you?
Good.
Great, Mark.
Awesome, thank you.
So, Andrea, the last I saw you was last night at the game. We had some fun, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. It was fun. It was fun to win too.
Well, I wouldn't know that, but anyway, I want to thank you guys for joining us, and hopefully in this next 12, 13 minutes, we'll get an opportunity to learn a little bit about InSoFast and yourselves. So why don't we start off there? Why don't you guys kind of fill us in a little bit about yourselves and InSoFast?
Sure. So I'm one of the newer members to the InSoFast family, and I say family very sincerely because it was started by a husband and wife, Ed and Paula, and they brought me in about a couple years ago as a consultant and gave me an opportunity to help them grow this business and build it up to be something that they had a vision for when they started it 15 years ago. And I've been blessed and felt lucky ever since. I'm still learning around the container and insulation business, but I've had a lot of experience in construction over the last 20 years. So I feel like I have more to learn and I can't stop learning.
So Dean, you live and breathe insulation, I think. When we met in person at one time, you were talking R factors and everything else. What's your background?
Construction industry and insulation. I've been foam fabricating for over 40 years. I can cut, shape, mold, and do anything you need to do with insulation, which is really an unfortunate skill, but someone has to have it. So Ed and I'm the longest term volunteer / employee / owner with InSoFast. I started with Ed and Paula back in the 90s. Actually, we met at a foam fabrication seminar with the Insulated Concrete Foam Association. So I have a lot of experience in how to insulate a surface.
Interesting. So tell us then, tell us about InSoFast as it relates to portable storage and, into our members specifically, right?
Sure. I did want to just take a quick moment too to thank everybody for coming to our showcase and learning more about InSoFast. And I will try to keep this brief, even though that's not normally my forte. Don't have to say anything, Dean. But a brief description of InSoFast is that we are a solution, and we are a solution to a very obvious problem when a question of how do I insulate my container. And that's the easiest direct connection that we have to being a part of this association. But there's so much more to InSoFast than just the products that we offer. And we have approached, Dean kind of touched on this, we've approached each surface with options to solve the customer's need for what they're trying to ultimately accomplish. But that's an obvious issue and question that a lot of modifiers have. But if you're not modifying, there's still a reason to learn more about InSoFast.
Great. So, one of the things that always comes up is, when you think of insulation, you think of modifying containers. You wouldn't think there's a need for insulation if you're just selling equipment. So I guess I'm curious to know, why should someone be interested in this product if all they do is trade equipment or worded differently, is this something they can sell to someone who's just buying a container from them?
This is
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Not the buzzer. This is actually our favorite part of being a part of this the NPSA, and Dean is going to touch a little bit more about that relationship. But the only thing I want to say is that InSoFast can be added value to that transaction when a customer is one of the members is selling a container to their customer, and we want to be a part of that transaction. Most likely the customer is coming in with, you might have maybe two different types of customers coming in. One that wants a complete container solution, and the seller has a way of modifying it, or has some people they refer to modifications, and we can offer those services and the product to solve that issue. But even more importantly, you have someone coming in and they want to be crafty and they want to be hands-on and do it themselves. And we think that the NPSA members can be a part of that transaction, because now they can offer them this solution with their container and just have it ready to go for the customer to complete their insulating project. We've already done the hard work. We have all the technical work behind it. We have all the how-tos to help them do it. But the customer is looking at that seller as a resource, and now they can very comfortably offer another solution to that customer.
So, Dean, maybe this is a question for you. When I first saw this, I was very impressed. You know, just how easily it goes in, and you don't need skilled workers. But you know, if I'm someone who's got a whole company set up where I've got these carpenters or whatever, and they've got a way to kind of install this framework and insulation, the normal sort of household insulation. You know, why would I consider InSoFast product versus that?
It's a great question, Mark, and I was hoping you'd ask something similar to that. And if I could, I'd like to play that video right now.
Sure.
All right. You know, to me, the National Portable Storage Association, the name is so limiting. It's just storage, because you are selling so much more than just a container, or you're doing so much more than leasing space. You're sort of increasing land. The first people that I know that actually can do that. You're selling space on somebody else's property, or you're leasing them a container that they can use. This storage industry is, you know, it's at the cusp of a complete revolution and change in the way people are going to look at space. According to the economist that I heard today, as he looked at how things are going to change, the gig economy is really going to take over. And the pandemic only accelerated the dynamics flex space that you guys deliver to almost unlimited people. You go to well, we've crossed Wrigley Fields, which is a earthworm grower. We've crossed into the specialty herb growers. We've crossed over into brewers, art studios, workshops, into desalinization plants, granny flats, homeless shelters. But what you guys do is you have standard engineered space that is deployable, that you can get it to a job site, you can get it to an area, and you can have it ready for the customer immediately. So what we took a look at your industry and said, let us do what they need, which is build in standard insulation methods and practices that they can quickly deploy, and they can increase their market share by being able to provide a consistent insulation package that has an opportunity to just completely change the way people look at space. So that's what excites us, is we're giving you a value opportunity with something that you can control your cost and control your labor.
So Dean,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I could hear it in your voice. So those videos are pretty cool. It looks like you've got different products, right? I mean, it didn't look like it's all the same sort of package, if you will. It looks like there's different inserts, different types of products that you might offer for the same size container. Yes or no?
Well, yes and no. We can go from super thin to super thick and any kind of insulation in between, but we can also take a look at the condition of the container and absolutely meet those requirements too. Because some of the dented containers, the older, we call them classics, are a little bit harder to work with. So we have different different methods and different ways of approaching insulating, but they're all basic on the same basic format of insulation and framing.
I like the way you say that, classics. I've heard them called other things.
Positive spin.
We have a question. We do have a question here. Someone's asking here, do you have a square foot pricing structure?
We do, but I'm sorry. Go ahead, Annie.
Well, we have a conversion to square foot, and we can kind of compare, but we always want to make sure that everybody is sort of comparing the right apples to apples when it comes to the square footage, and making sure that they're calculating that correctly. The idea is, the biggest point we want to get across today too is that we're not a one size fits all per se. We are several different sizes will fit what you need. InSoFast is not just product. We are a team of people ready to ask you lots of questions to make sure that we get, if you have a budget with the square foot issue with that question, we're going to try to fit in what you need to fit that budget. If you have an end use that you're trying to get to, we're going to try to offer you the product line that's going to be best for that end use. We are going to ask you lots of questions and lead you to the right path, and not just make it into a flat, our pricing is X. No, it's going to depend on a lot of different features so we can get you the right solution.
So I noticed in the videos as well, there's those sort of black strips. Are those nailers?
They are. And they can hold up cabinets and storage shelves and any kind of finish that you need to put on the container. And what's
so in
nice,
fact, they're acting like studs.
They're acting like studs. And what's nice about our system, it's a solid wall system. We kind of keep promoting that, because in the rental business, when you build out with a frame, the frame has empty space in between there, and when it's damaged, it's hard to fix, that if you're doing drywall or something. But when you have a solid wall, repair is so much easier, so you can get that unit back out onto the rental market.
All right, guys. I found this interesting myself, even though I'm not in the building of or modifying containers personally. But I think our members here will find it very interesting. And we're coming to the end of this session. I've got to jump on to another session here shortly. Go ahead, Andrea, real quick.
Really quick, I just want to make sure we want to answer your questions. Come to our booth. We have sales consultants ready to go. We have questions that we want to ask.
You have no faith in me, Andrea. I was going to say that. Make sure you visit these guys at the exhibitor hall. They'll be around during all the live hours. You can talk to them specifically about your individual needs.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.